Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. This one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the RTX 3060 Ti in Guardians of the Galaxy. We are running the latest Nvidia drivers available for it, which are 496.49. These are actually optimized for this game. This is the Founders Edition model of the card. As you can see right here, it's not overclocked or manually overclocked. And as usual, I'm running it using a Ryzen 950-900X and 32 gigabytes of RAM. Let's get right into it, shall we? And first of all, let's go through the settings real quick. I'm playing at the 1080p resolution. We're also going to test this one at 1440p and 4K. And of course, we're going to use some DLSS in this video. Right now, it's turned off. The implementation is really good in this game, by the way, from what I tested so far. We're using the Ultra settings preset right now, and the ray tracing is actually disabled here. Well, of course, we're going to test it out in this video as well. I am going to disable motion blur, radial blur, chromatic aberration, and depth of field because I don't like those effects. They don't really impact your FPS too much, so feel free to leave them enabled. Let's get into it. And here we go, guys. The game is actually kept at 144 frames per second. I can't seem to find how to unlock it, but it doesn't really matter because on ultra settings, at least, we are below that threshold most of the time with the 3060 Ti. These FPS are extremely good. The game looks very detailed and beautiful, in my opinion. It could use some better reflections and lighting, so maybe ray tracing will actually save that aspect of this game right now. It is not a bad looking game whatsoever, and it's super smooth and playable, obviously. I think something older like a GTX 1060 should also be able to run it pretty well. And now let's just get this out of here. I've played this game for about 2 to 3 hours already, and this area right here is one of the most intensive ones that I've come across so far. The first level is also pretty intensive. The second level, I'm not really sure if there are levels, you know, but the second area of this game is more of a closed area inside of a ship, so you get extremely high FPS. There's no problem there. But yeah, over here, it's pretty good for a benchmark, I believe, and it's running flawlessly here in the 3060 Ti, as expected, I think. Okay, so he's gonna throw this guy over to the other side. I'm gonna encourage him, of course. Please do it. There he is. Beautiful. He's furious. Oh, he's shooting at us right now. Oh, you brute. Oh boy, what the heck? Okay, we're good now. What the hell are those things now? Oh boy, okay, a little bit of a fight right now, that's great. And maybe I should do like some things here, yes. Maybe explosions are intensive, probably not. Yeah, as you can see, pretty well optimized the explosions here. That's awesome to see. And we're almost there. Can I punch him in the face? Does it have a face even? Probably not, right? Got this. We got this. We got this. Come on, people. Just kill the things. It's getting pretty consistent FPS even here, you know? Fighting these things with all of these effects in the screen. Around 100, 110 frames per second, 120. It is pretty damn good, guys. Not gonna lie. I am liking this. I think we should enable some DLSS just to see how many frames we can get. As I told you, the quality of the DLSS in this game is just amazing. I actually played for a while at 1440p using balanced DLSS, and it was really good looking. I couldn't really tell the difference between DLSS on balanced at 1440p visual quality wise and DLSS disabled. 1% lows went down by a lot there, by the way, because of the achievement, I think. Because we just unlocked something there on Steam. Yeah, once again. So far, I'm actually enjoying the game, you know. The story seems to be decent. The characters are funny, as expected, I guess. And the gameplay is alright. It's more of a linear experience, but I'm fine with that. Yeah, we do get closer to 144 most of the time now with DLSS enabled on quality. Visual quality wise, by the way, I can't really tell a difference here. It looks really good still. I'm not even hearing what they're saying, to be honest, but I'm still answering their questions and stuff. But yeah, even the vegetation looks quite nice here using DLSS on quality, and yeah, it might look actually the same as native 1080p resolution here, which is really, really nice. Should we try some ray tracing as well here with DLSS? I think so, right? Now, there are actually two ray tracing options right here. I think I'll set it to very high instead of ultra, because ultra is super intensive. There's like a 15 FPS difference between high and ultra here on DLSS, at least at 1440p. But yeah, these are just the normal ray tracing reflections, and these are the reflections in mirrors and glass and stuff. You can see there in the image. It looks really good with these enabled. Of course, our FPS are going down by a little bit. DLSS is still enabled. I think you should definitely use DLSS if you're using ray tracing, of course. And wow, look, the lighting actually, is that better? It might actually be better. Come on, we got a little cutscene right here. Good thing is the FPS don't really change in cutscenes, so that's all right. But I wasn't really noticing those thunders, the lightning, you know, before. And now it's very apparent. A little bit distracting, to be honest. Is it because of ray tracing? I'm actually gonna disable it because I'm not sure. Turn that off. Both of the options here, and no, okay. Yeah, the lightning is still there. It's the same thing actually. But let's re-enable that on very high. Turn that on again and actually test ray tracing for a bit. Restart the counting system. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're good. Go to the other side, please. So if you have a 1080p monitor with a 3060 Ti, guys, which I'm not sure if I recommend, to be honest. I think this is a very good card for 1440p gaming. See, okay, we're fine. We're good. Yeah, you can actually play the game at ultra settings using some very high ray tracing. The game will look beautiful, of course. I'm not really sure if I can tell much of a difference, at least here with ray tracing enabled. But I did find a big difference in a previous mission or whatever, previous level of this game, you know. There were some reflections in the glass of the spaceship and stuff like that, and it was really, really noticeable. You can also tell the reflections there in the puddles now as well. Okay, so we just gotta kill this bastard right here. Let me see if I can see some reflections though. No? Can see. Oh, bye! Leave me alone! Oh yes, I can definitely see some reflections there. Look at that. This isn't really the most beautiful area in this game, I guess. We got a big stutter once again because of the achievements. Kind of annoying, to be honest, but it's just Steam doing its thing there. But yeah, you can definitely notice a few reflections there in the water, and they don't disappear when the things are off the screen. We should definitely focus in this thing. Yep. Alright, here we go. So still perfectly playable, by the way. We're getting slightly less FPS than at 1080p Ultra without ray tracing and native resolution, without DLSS as well. And let me just do this, and do this, and do this. Tons of effects, and it's hanging in there pretty well, of course. Oh, of course, he has more than 1 bar of health for some reason. Yep. Oh my goodness, I also have my ultimate, which is just me flying around. Not very useful like the other guys' ultimates, but okay. What is this? E? R? E? What? Ooh. What? Okay, she just cut off his tail, I guess. Let's continue here. Amazing! Alright, so we've seen a bunch of effects already here at 1080p. Of course, different areas will deliver different results, but, well, I can't really test everything here in single-player games, of course. But yeah, 112 FPS average, 91 1% lows is pretty damn good. I wouldn't really lower the DLSS setting here at 1080p. And now let's test it out at 1440p. Here we go, 2560 by 1440, and yes, it says 59 Hz because I'm actually using another monitor today. It's not my setup, as you probably noticed already. DLSS is disabled. Graphics are still on ultra. Let's disable ray tracing for now as well. And yeah, chromatic array. Yeah, okay, lens flare. I want that. I don't want any of these. So let's go. You actually don't need to restart the game to apply all of these settings, only the textures. And look at those reflections now without ray tracing. that thing, for example, that object doesn't reflect at all when it's off the screen. But there are still some reflections, interestingly enough. I'm stuck, guys. I am stuck. Okay, I'm not stuck anymore. What happened there? What the hell? Oh my gosh, I'm stuck again. What the heck? Alright, so I got kind of stuck there and I decided to just show you the first level, which is a little bit more intensive, it seems like. We're playing at 1440p, still no DLSS and the same ultra settings without these and ray tracing. So as you can see, this is way more detailed, way more vibrant as well, and I like it more. I really like it more here in this level. So let's start counting our frames. It's getting like 80s instead of closer to 90. It might drop, yeah, into the 60s here more often because this is a huge scene right here. It's awesome, actually. It looks really good and detailed. Now, from what I've seen and from what you've seen as well, the fights in this game don't really drop your FPS too much, and I think basically this is worst case scenario looking at the entire map, I guess, or the entire level from here, and getting like 60s, 70s. It's pretty good still. Oh boy, okay. We're fine. Let's go. Keep on moving. This is why I say that the 3060 Ti is... I can barely move in these things. Like, you can't really be very precise. Maybe walking? Let's see. But yeah, okay. Yeah, that's much better. So this is why I say the 3060 Ti is a 1440p, a really good 1440p card. We're basically always above 60 frames per second. And, well, that's basically what you want in single-player titles. But if you want more FPS without any visual quality loss, you can always select DLSS, you know. Enable that on quality here, and this is it. We are at 100 something FPS sometimes now. That's insane. All right, okay, I'm good. Holy crap. So we went from what, 70 something frames per second to 90 plus basically all of the time. That's crazy. And if you look closely,
there's the mining rig.
I can't tell a difference, guys. I really can't tell a difference between DLSS on quality and native resolution. I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't play with DLSS. It looks great and it's performing better. So yeah, just use that, even if you aren't using some ray tracing, because I believe Nvidia actually made DLSS because of ray tracing, kind of. Now, the sound is super distracting because it's bugged right now and it cuts off every like 2 seconds or so. I thought it was a driver issue or a game issue, but the game has been updated and the drivers are the latest ones available. I also tried this with the other drivers, the previous ones, and it was still the same. Also, by the way, look at those like effects coming from my boots. The heat effects, I guess, looks really good, in my opinion. Those little details, I love that, you know. Couple of stutters here, by the way, probably because the game is loading new things. But overall, the performance is really good here. Oh, the first enemy that you come across in this game. Look at that. It's super weird, and I'm not sure who designed the enemies in this game. Some of them are nasty, actually, very disgusting, but then others are kind of like this and weird, and yeah, they're not scary at all, but I guess they're just aliens, you know. Perform a melee attack. Yep, there we go. No, you can actually play football with them. I didn't do that previously. Interesting. Let's go. Beautiful. Look at the thing. Just died there. Go through here. Another little stutter there because it's loading. I've seen these exact same stutters the first time that I played this through, in these exact same spots. So I really think the game is just loading some new things, you know. Look at this. Looking really good. Down into the 80s. Holy crap. Okay. All right, wait a second. Please don't fall yet. Okay? It's all good. I want to change the settings here. So at this point, at 1440p using quality DLSS, I don't see the need to drop the DLSS further than that. But let's try it out using some ray tracing. Very high there. Turn that on as well. And we were getting 80s and now we're in the 60s and 70s. that's still pretty good for a single-player title, and it's awesome that the game still looks like native 1440p using the DLSS on quality as well. It definitely saves ray tracing. I think without it, we would be getting like 40s to 50s, 60s FPS, you know, instead of basically above 60 all of the time, because looking in that direction is super intensive, and it's still getting 70. Let's go, Groot! I am Groot! Here we go! Uh-oh, 59 FPS, 1% lows, guys. Didn't really see it dropping from 60, to be honest, but oh boy, that's like some people's worst nightmare right there. Alright, more of those things. Looking insanely detailed here. Like the hair as well. Look at that, guys. Textures look really good as well in this game. Okay, yes, I've seen all of this. Stop! Okay, let's explode them. Frame rates are still pretty consistent here. Getting 60s and 70s. Super good experience, guys. I mean, coming into this, before I tested ray tracing, I wasn't expecting it to run so well on a 3060 Ti. After all, this is a 60 series GPU, but it's so good. It's also not high refresh rate, of course, but it is pretty damn good. For a single player game, again, I don't think you need 100 plus FPS here in this one. This is super solid, and we've seen a little stutter there, but it's no problem, you know. So yeah, 77 FPS average, 59% lows. It's pretty nice using ray tracing still. And now I'm actually gonna turn Nvidia DLSS down to balanced, which will increase our FPS even further. And I'll stand still for you guys. You tell me, can you see any jaggies here? I think it still looks very impressive like this. You know, it's still super detailed. There is not much of a difference between DLSS balanced and native resolution once again. And now, we're still using ray tracing, and we're getting above 70s. Which is probably 69 1% lows. That would be the best thing ever, right? Also, look in this direction. We're now dropping into the 70s. And it's smooth and it's playable using ray tracing. Can we even use ultra ray tracing now? I don't think it will make a big difference visual fidelity wise, but ooh, it drops our frames by quite a bit. Look at that. Now getting 60s and 70s. It's still pretty playable and smooth though, don't get me wrong. Super nice experience from 3060 Ti, but it's getting closer to the 60s and it might actually drop here and there. So if you must have 60 plus all of the time, very high ray tracing with DLSS on balanced will be really good at 1440p. Of course at 1080p you can actually run DLSS on quality and ray tracing, and it will be absolutely fine. It's actually dropping here, as you can see. And there goes an eye. Very interesting. Come on! Oh boy, what is that? Oh my gosh, I just fell. I don't know how I fell. What the heck? Okay, let's keep on going. Alright, so 3840 by 2160, no DLSS, and the ultra settings still, everything's still the same. I just disabled ray tracing, of course, and it seems like it is actually pretty decent now. Huh, interesting. Very interesting. I don't care. Stop it. Just want to play the game. Thank you very much. Alright, I'm gonna start counting our frames. Oh, gosh. Just what have I done there? Right. So this is actually decent and playable. For a single player title, once again, that's not a first-person shooter. I think I could definitely make do with 50 frames per second on average or so. Alright, here we go. Almost dead, guys. Almost dead. Just explode the boy. There it is. Good stuff.
Watch out! Worm things go boom!
Yes, indeed. More balls. Can I actually kick these? Alright. Bam! There we go. Playing football with these things is actually kind of fun. Oh boy, come on! Stop it! There we go. Those explode into tinier ones, actually. Interesting. What if I kick these guys? No, I'm not kidding. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm almost dead. I don't want to die here. I'm playing on easy even. Alright, Groot, please do this, and let's go. Explode the boys. What am I doing? Get up, dudes. Oh boy. What the heck? Alright, there we go. All good, guys. Stop it. I don't want to do this. Our FPS are going up because of this. It's part of the tutorial or this area here, guys. I'm sorry. Now, what about DLSS here at 4K? I'm gonna enable that on quality, which should look pretty much the same as native 4K, once again, if you're running a 4K monitor. And it puts us around 60 now. That is amazing. What the hell? Super sharp right now, guys. For sure. Very nice. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost fell there. Almost fell. Come on, Groot. Groot, come on. I need you. There we go. Beautiful bridge of Groot. And it's dropping into the 50s already, but again, it's 4K resolution on a 3060 Ti on ultra settings. It's super impressive, isn't it, guys? And there's a lot of little details here in this map as well. Interesting to see that 1440p using DLSS quality and ray tracing on very high was actually getting more FPS than 4K ultra without ray tracing and DLSS on quality. So just goes to show you how intensive 4K resolution is and how much of a beast or of beasts the 3080s and 3080 Ti's, 3090s of the world really are. Like, you can do some 4K gaming on a 3060 Ti, but those other GPUs would probably do, what, like 100 frames per second right here? That would be crazy. 70, 69 on average. Let's stop it right there. I think we've seen, like, the best averages already, so yeah, let's let's lower DLSS to balanced at 4K, which should still look really good. Is this a 60 plus FPS experience all of the time? At 4K resolution using DLSS, probably, right? 1% loads are pretty bad right now because of the loadings in the background, but it's still doable. Oh, this is it, by the way. This is where you're gonna see a massive difference between ray tracing enabled and disabled. I am gonna go ahead and try that out. As you can see, reflections there, nothing really fancy. Let's turn on ray tracing here on very high and these transparent reflections, which I think will make the most difference here. Look at that, guys. Look at the difference. It's totally different. It's not really reflecting the pink things anymore. It's actually reflecting what's there, as you can see. So it's real-time ray tracing, of course. That's exactly what it's supposed to do, and it looks really good, I think. Now, is it worth a drop in FPS of 20-something or so? Not really sure about that. I wouldn't really enable it just for those reflections, although they looked pretty good and impressive. But yeah, so 50s here. If you want to enable some ray tracing at 4K, it seems like you really want to go with the balanced preset in DLSS at least. And you're not gonna get 60 FPS, of course, but it's close and it's smooth and playable still. And yeah, now that we are inside, FPS are gonna be a little bit better. And oh, that thing right there, of course. You actually have no idea, guys, what's coming out of that little thing. Just watch. That little thing right there is gonna become that huge thing that kills people. I didn't really see it killing any person yet, but I'm assuming that it actually kills people, so yeah. What the hell? There was kind of a delay there. Oh, we're back to the 50s inside. Maybe ray tracing inside is actually more intensive. It makes sense because there are a lot of little lights, of course, and I'm turning it off right now just to see the difference. Still looks pretty good here without ray tracing. Look at that, by the way, right there. That's super weird. It's very grainy. I wonder if RT will do something good to it. So let's set it to ultra, actually. Turn that on. Oh, it's gone. So those weird things are gone when you enable ray tracing because, well, it's more accurate this way. Well, guys, I think that's been it for this one. I think I'm gonna die. Yep. We're inside, so it's not really as intensive anymore. And yeah, it's pretty playable. Even at 4K resolution, you can play this game with whatever resolution you want. We only tested ultra settings. Of course, you can get more FPS with high or very high settings. But I think as this is a single-player title, you might want to max it out if you have something like the 3060 Ti. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.